This is Nightline.
Tonight, those cool come-on ads. Some with celebrities like Jamie Foxx and Kendall Jenner.
Today, it's time to bet on something new.
That make winning look oh so easy. But it can put them at risk of losing everything.
I put myself into debt 6 times over the course of 6 years.
The rise in turbocharged teen gambling, really meant for adults.
So they pulled out the BetMGM app and put together a live parlay.
And what latest thing is like Vegas on steroids. Plus, how some young Iranian Americans are showing their own form of resistance.
I'm going to be on the dance floor all night.
Creating space to celebrate their culture.
My first Persian party in New York. Let's go.
As they grapple with the uncertainty of war. We're taking you inside a world inspired by a revolution where young people are finding joy against all odds. War with Iran. Nightline special coverage continues. Tonight is day 27. And the viral 90s social media trend. Why it's got this 90s Goo Goo Dolls power ballad topping music charts again.
I just want you to know who I am.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Deborah Roberts. Tonight we begin with this time of March Madness, and we're taking a look at the world of online sports gambling meant for adults. Yet its hold is stronger than ever now on some teens, thanks to new features experts say amp up the dopamine, giving them a series of quick fixes. Yet it can lead them into addiction. Now, ABC News has partnered with our owned and affiliated stations in a nationwide investigation called In on the Action. Here's ABC Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky.
It's March, and for sports fans, the madness is back.
Darling puts it up.
St. John's advancing with a buzzer beater. Iowa busting brackets with a shocker, beating defending champion Florida.
Bulgaris for 3. Yeah!
And with all the action on the court,
here are my best bets for day one.
It's the online betting action off the court that's attracting a lot of attention and billions of dollars, with superstars like Livy Dunn.
Fanatics Sportsbook is making this tournament 10 times more rewarding.
And Tom Brady promoting online gambling.
Wait, what did I do?
But what happens when the fun turns into an addiction?
When I saw these commercials saying, hey, win some money while you're watching these games, it felt like, wow, that looks amazing. I was already watching it. I might as well, make a little bit of money doing it.
Rob Minnick was in high school, scooping ice cream for minimum wage when he started gambling through a bookie.
This concept that I could make $100 on a Phillies game versus, working 2 days at the store, it was like, why would I ever work again?
And when online sports betting became legal, he says his addiction escalated.
I put myself into debt 6 times over the course of 6 years to the point that I had to work a second job to pay it off.
Rob is in recovery now, but for 6 years he was part of a generation of young men enthralled with gambling. Americans in 2019 legally wagered roughly $13 billion on sports alone. Last year, that figure surpassed $160 billion.
I placed my first bet when I was 11.
I bet you at any time I probably had 15 apps.
ABC News, along with our owned and affiliated stations around the country, launched a nationwide investigation into the growing link between youth gambling and the rise in gambling addiction in America.
It's a looming public health crisis. In fact, it's already here.
Dr. Nasir Naqvi runs the Gambling Disorders Clinic at Columbia University. He has seen gambling problems in people as young as 13.
What we find is actually a very similar pattern of activation.
Same parts of the brain.
Same parts of the brain.
Drugs and alcohol, gambling.
Exactly.
A growing body of research shows that gambling at an early age can drastically increase the likelihood of developing a gambling addiction.
The parts of their brains that respond to these rewards develop more quickly, and so they become sensitive to these rewards and to that dopamine release before the part of their brain that helps them to control these behaviors.
Gambling addiction in adults is rare. Only about 1% report addictions. But among young people, up to 7% develop gambling problems, including addictions. And Naqvi says the patients he sees are increasingly devoted to one very specific type of gambling: online sports.
You don't have to wait to the end of the game to see who wins. You can bet on all sorts of things along the way.
There's a continuous engagement with the betting platforms during the game, and so it just creates a higher intensity type of behavior that is that much more addictive.
That continuous engagement is called micro betting or in-game betting.
And chances to live bet from the first down to the final whistle.
Micro betting is about action. It's about a constant, nonstop delivery.
Place your bet, get your fix.
And keep going. It doesn't stop.
On the opening night of March Madness, we visited a sports bar in New York City with Dr. Harry Levant, a self-described recovering gambling addict, clinician, and advocate, who showed us how you can bet on almost any moment during the course of a sporting event. A pitch, a putt, a free throw.
With 51 seconds left.
With 51 seconds left. This is designed for people who were losing their bets. Here's one more opportunity to bet.
Experts believe these in-game bets, perhaps more than any other factor, are responsible for the surge in gambling addiction among young men.
Gambling has been around from the dawn of time. We are seeing an enormous increase of people struggling with gambling addiction. Therefore, one of two things is so. Either in 2026, all of our brains have somehow changed, or the product has changed. The product has changed.
A trade group representing some of the biggest sports betting apps says the industry does everything it can to prevent gambling addiction, including built-in wager limits, time limits, and deposit limits.
Our companies continue to communicate that this is an entertainment exercise and not a wealth creation exercise.
Levant has helped author state and federal legislation that would prompt big changes in sports betting, including banning in-game betting supported by artificial intelligence.
We are not trying to outlaw sports gambling. We're trying to make it safer.
But with millions of dollars in tax revenue coming in every year, it's an uphill battle. Numbers crunched by ABC's data team show online sportsbooks generated at least $3.7 billion in taxes for state and local governments in 2025, up nearly $1 billion from the prior year. In New York, gaming apps brought in more than $200 million more than table games and slots in 1 month alone. Lawmakers in California are introducing legislation that would mandate more stringent age verification tools in apps and regulate how companies advertise.
This is an opportunity for us to get ahead of the problem, finally.
Jim Steyer runs Common Sense Media, the nation's largest children's advocacy group. He says most young people bet on video game platforms or offshore sites, and now prediction markets like Kalshi and Polymarket. But many children also manage to gain access to legalized forms of betting like sportsbooks.
We're giving you 10 profit boosts every single tournament game day.
And with ads like these flooding the airwaves and social media.
And with a tap, you're betting with the king of sportsbooks.
Critics say these platforms are normalizing a known addictive product.
Young people are being targeted without really understanding it. That is a very serious concern.
Industry leaders say they have a zero-tolerance policy for youth gambling. In addition to age restrictions in their apps and on their ads, they require a social security number and bank account to register.
This is a product for adults and adults only. That means not advertising on college campuses, not casting actors or character portrayals below the age of 21 in any advertising or known to attract younger audiences.
They pulled out the BetMGM app and put together a live parlay.
The normalization of gambling in America means that kids often first learn about gambling from their favorite celebrities or sports idols before parents can educate them about the risks.
You have to have an ongoing discussion with your kids about this all day, about not just media and technology, but now about the gambling factor.
Rob placed his last bet in 2022.
I gambled compulsively for 6 years.
Now he's on social media, devoting his time to help others. He hears from teens every day.
This is my life now. No one cares enough about the gambling addicts except for ourselves to do anything about it. If it means that I have to make TikToks out of my little cubby in my second bedroom here until the day that I die, I guess that is what it is.
Our thanks to Aaron. When we come back, some Iranian American youth finding joy and community, one Disco Tehran-style party at a time.
I think everyone right now needs this event because all of us have felt so alone.
Welcome back. We turn now to the Iran war, where an Israeli strike has reportedly killed that country's Navy commander. Today, President Trump holding his first cabinet meeting since the war began. During it, he insisted negotiations with Iran are underway, despite Iran rejecting that notion.
They want to make a deal. The reason they want to make a deal is they have been just beat to
As the war rages on, young Iranian Americans coping with the stress and concern of their ancestral homeland, and for some, family and friends under siege. Many taking up what might seem like an unusual form of resistance, finding joy and community on throwback era dance floors. It's day 27 of the war with Iran. Here's Nightline's Ashan Singh.
This pop-up party in New York City's downtown has a deeper meaning than meets the eye. It's a celebration of the Persian New Year, Nowruz. Scenes here reminiscent of the disco culture that thrived in Iran before the hardline regime took over in 1979.
A lot of the music that we're playing tonight came out of Iran before the revolution happened, but also mixed in the new that still has that heart.
The dancing, hosted by Club June, which translates to soul, attracting younger Iranian Americans for a night out grooving to the sounds of their homeland.
I'm gonna be on the dance floor all night.
A reprieve, especially amidst the distress from a war happening 6,000 miles away that many, if not all, find themselves connected to.
Dancing and music brings us together instead of mourning what was lost.
Everyone right now needs this event because all of us have felt so alone.
Around the 1970s, cities like Tehran stood as cultural giants in the region, hubs of music, film, art, and poetry.
In 1979, there was a revolution, and you saw a major wave of Iranians flee and lose everything and start from scratch.
The music and dance scene was pushed underground, though many Iranians kept the culture alive behind closed doors. But for those in the States, they're reclaiming their culture and living it out loud, especially now.
Nowruz is marked on the spring equinox. This is something that brings Iranians together. I know that this year it's come with mixed feelings and emotions, and for many Iranians, they are hoping for a new Iran.
We're at an Iranian Nowruz market in New York.
Omid Afshar is a first-generation Iranian American.
I'm an Iranian content creator. It's been something I started over 2 years ago, and it's grown into something I never really dreamt of it becoming. Here's a phrase in Farsi that makes no sense in English.
He grew a following of more than 100,000, sharing his personal journey to reconnect with his heritage on social media.
I'm about to show you how to make shivit polo and morgh qermez, my dad's favorite meal. You gotta be kidding me right now. This is pure Iranian kubide.
Were you proud growing up Iranian?
Of course, but when you grow up from immigrant parents who fled Iran right before the revolution, you are kind of creating your own narrative of what it's like to be Iranian in America.
For sure.
And you know, there was times growing up when I wanted to also try to fit in with the American crowd that I was going to school with. So I want to say I had this realization over the last couple years of living in New York that I was longing to feel that connection.
Omid taking it one step further, launching Club June.
Club June's going on!
To bring Iranians together in real life.
We go to different bars or restaurants and we listen to Iranian music. Growing up, going to my parents' parties, Iranian music was something that was always around me. And I realized, why don't we have any spaces like that? My first Persian party in New York, let's go. We're literally in the space where we had our first Club June masquerade, and it's grown into something much more deeper than I had ever imagined.
I saw this kid started posting stuff about like Iranian restaurants and like food and stuff, and then he reached out that he wanted to come here.
Masquerade is one of the go-to spots for Persian cuisine and nightlife in the city. Started by these Iranian musicians who left their country for New York more than 15 years ago.
You're growing up somewhere that you can't practice that freely, and then suddenly there's chances that you can do it, and then you do it, and like you create a space that people can come and like eat food, be together, listen to good music, and just be whoever they are. And to be able to create a space like this it's incredible.
Sometimes me and him just out of nowhere we talk about it and we tear up. It's very surreal to be able to do this.
I want to create spaces where people can come together, and especially in our time, togetherness and tenderness is actually a radical act.
Disco Tehran, founded by Arya Gavamian, is one of the most unique Nowruz gatherings in the West, right here in Bushwick, Brooklyn. What are you looking forward to most?
The Persian songs.
Persian songs, the songs that you grew up listening to?
It's heartwarming.
This is the best thing that we can do in this time, is just play music.
It's not your typical Nowruz party. Disco Tehran is multicultural in nature, bringing together music across backgrounds. And DJs who play Iranian pop from the 70s, like the legendary singer Goo Goo.
When I see people, both Iranians who are freaking out, but also non-Iranians, because the energy gets transferred from one person to another, this expression of dance and togetherness. So for me, that is Disco Tehran itself.
Arya moved from Tehran to the US, eventually calling New York City home. In 2018, he started having small gatherings of food and music in his cramped Chinatown apartment.
Tell me a little bit about the early days of Disco Tehran.
I was craving something that I missed so deeply in my own life, which is the sense of connection with people who inspire me. But that sense of inspiration and closeness doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be from the same culture.
As Disco Tehran's lure expanded, it's popped up in Paris, Mexico City, Los Angeles, and even Rome.
The dance floor is a place of resistance, really. It's a place for us to embrace humanity, embrace this moment of being together in a world that is very radically pushing us away from each other.
How do you deal with the weight of what's going on in your home country? Here you are sitting across from me smiling.
Oh, I'm smiling because the interesting thing about, I think, Iranians and also a lot of people from my region is that that's the defense against the against the darkness that we live in.
And no matter who you talk to from the diaspora, the existential feeling of hope mixed with despair looms large as they long for a brighter future for Iran.
Nowruz is about the hope and the renewal and freedom, and this will remind us who we are and why we're here.
Our thanks to Ashan. Stay with Nightline and ABC News for continued coverage of the war. Well, when we come back, the viral social media trend propelling a certain 90s power ballad back up the charts, with even SZA getting in on the action. Finally tonight, ready or not, it's the return of the Goo Goo Dolls. It's tonight's Nightlight. It's the viral 90s trend captivating social media. The Goo Goo Dolls' Iris. I just want you to know why. Used as a soundtrack, inspiring legions of posts. The trend gathering steam, with even SZA getting in on the action, posting her own cover version of the song, helping to propel the original power ballad right back up the charts. That's Nightline. You can watch all of our full episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.